Now let's focus on Europe, and across Europe the pandemic is receding and people are starting to see some semblance of normality return, yet the optimism is the cautious kind and governments are facing the dual challenge of meeting their vaccination responsibilities both for their populations and those around the world. Well, let's get more now from William Glucroft in Berlin, who's a correspondent with our partner DW. Thank you so much for joining us. First and foremost, tell us, how are things where you are?
Well, summer has finally arrived to Germany and all around Europe, and people want to get out to enjoy it. And the pandemic for now seems to be cooperating. All the bad numbers are down, infections, hospitalizations, deaths, and the good numbers, vaccinations, are up. At least 46% of people in Germany have at least one dose. About half of that, they're fully vaccinated. And similar numbers are all around Europe, and that's allowing places to open up. Of course, it's different all around Germany and even all around Europe, of course, but generally restaurants and places to drink and eat, they're open, even for seating inside with tests. Mask use, of course, is still required on public transport and generally out in public. And of course, employers still have to, at least here in Berlin, have to allow working from home, and they have to allow employees to be able to get tested for those who have to come in. So a lot of progress being made, but still a lot left to go.
And what concerns remain for officials there?
Well, we were here last year, of course, when the incidence rate went down, where things seemed to be more relaxed, only to get hit again with the second and third waves in the fall and the winter months. So officials don't want to repeat that now that people are getting out, going to travel more. Rules are relaxing. And it's important to note that although the numbers are down, way down from what we saw over the winter, they're still higher than this point last year when there was that lull. They're actually about where they were in parts of the first wave that, of course, shut down so much of Germany and Europe. So it really is a matter of perspective. It is all relative, of course. Things feel good in comparison to those dark days in the winter, but we're still not where we need to be.
And what attention is vaccine distribution getting for other parts of the world?
That's right. Now that things seem to be more relaxed here, more open, things to be going in a good way, especially with vaccinations here in Germany and across Europe. There's even more pressure for rich countries to be helping lower and middle income countries get the vaccines they need to end the pandemic everywhere, not just here. The WHO, for example, says that 75% of all doses worldwide have gone to just 10 countries, with less than 1% going to lower income countries, countries with low GDP. And they want, of course, to change that primarily through COVAX, the initiative to get vaccines to lower and middle income countries. There was, of course, a donor conference recently where they raised a surprising $2.4 billion, more than they were expecting, which was very good for COVAX. They think that can get enough doses to at least cover 30% of populations in 91 countries by early 2022 at the latest. But again, there's a lot of short-term shortfalls that have to be made up, especially with India having supply problems in its own country to take care of. There's hundreds of millions of doses still left to get to COVAX, to those lower and middle income countries. And Europe needs to step up and make sure that it is fulfilling its responsibilities and fulfilling its pledges that it's giving.